Having dropped points in the last episode, we can't afford to drop many more if we are to achieve our target of getting through to the playoffs. 1, 2 playoff semi-finals without having to go through the initial round of playoffs. We need to make sure that we pick up points today, and it's not going to be easy because we face 4th and 7th respectively. Hello, and it's a very warm welcome to episode 38 of From the Bottom to the Top, as we try and take a National League South side, in this case Weymouth, all the way from the bottom up to the top. And this is our journey. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you 2 more games as we get to the business end of the season. Vanarama National League Matchday 38 and Matchday 39. Solihull Moors away and Southend at home. They are the 2 teams that we will meet in this one. And as I said in the preamble, we can't afford to drop any points really, but as least as we can, because it's getting very, very tricky at the top here. And well, we'll look at that in just a moment. But don't forget, if you do enjoy today's episode, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, leave me a comment. It all helps here on YouTube, and you can follow what's going on with this channel simply by following me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at JustOffsideFM. Right, without any more to do, let's get on with it then and have a look at what's been going on since you were last with us. We have played 1 game last time out. Of course, we beat Gateshead at home 2-0. We were then away to Dagenham Redbridge. It was a 3-1 loss on that occasion. Didn't really perform against Dagenham and Redbridge. Really, really annoying. Then we have played Altrincham, and again we started to concede goals, which is a bit of a worry. 5 in the last 2 games. So we need to put a stop to that, because we did have a little bit of a sort of, well, we haven't really been conceding goals all the way along, and that's our biggest problem, I think. Something we need to look at in the close season. Defenders, proper defenders, and also decent goalkeeper. I mean, the goalkeeper's not bad, so maybe we hang on to him. I don't know. We need to look at reinforcements in the summer, that is for sure. 4-2 then in the game against Altrincham. Altrincham had just come off the back of a thumping from Scunthorpe, who were down near the bottom of the table. And, we were okay. Got a good lead after 21 minutes from Dan Casey. Mika Peters doing Prescott-type things out there, backheeled it to Casey. Casey in space puts it away. We took the lead then after 21, but 5 minutes later, Ibrahim levelled it up. A throw in from Love. Burrows heads it on. Blythe just doesn't. He clears it, but not clears it, and I think that's our biggest problem. Is we need to be clearing those balls right out of it, and Ibrahim took advantage of the situation. So 1-1 after 26. 10 minutes later, Mika Peters, who'd got an assist in the first goal, managed to put it actually in the back of the net for our second. Bolton, Solanke and Bolton working well together. Bolton coming forward. Bolton crosses it in. Peters at the near post, flicks it past the goalkeeper. 2-1. And Ben Blythe was to make it 3-1 before half-time. Linton with a corner. Blythe getting up. Blythe puts it in. 3-1, a 2-goal cushion at half-time then. But that 2-goal cushion was short-lived, because soon after half-time, Mark McKenzie scored for Altrincham. Conway coming forward. Cooper not winning that ball. Crossed in. Prescott beaten. And McKenzie heading it past Armstrong to make it 3-2 at this point, and we give a little bit, but not to worry. 14 minutes later, Elliot Bolton getting our 4th. Linton to Casey. Casey back to Linton. Peters, the provider again, this time for Bolton. Bolton just sweeping it into the back of the net, basically. 4-2 it was, And, well, for the last half hour, we managed to hang on to that. 17 shots, 9 on target, 3.12 and 58% of the possession. They had 6 shots, 3 on target and 0.41 on the XG and 42% of the possession. So, Mika Peters getting a player of the match, which he fully deserved. Elliot Bolton have a great match as well. And Alfie Prescott also doing very, very well in that match. So that left us like this in the table. We are 4th on 70 points. Solihull Moors, our first opponents today, a 6-pointer then. In 3rd on 71. And then we are 7 points adrift of Bradford City at the moment. They've got a game in hand as well, which I've just noticed, on 77 points. Chesterfield leading the pack at the moment with 83 points, 6 points clear of Bradford City, and 13 points clear of us in 4th. I really don't think we can get promoted automatically, not this season. The best we can hope for is a 3rd place, possibly a 2nd place, but Bradford have got to blow up. And I'm not expecting them to, because I think they should be on 80 points. We'll be 10 points adrift of them. And really 9 games left to play. It's not doable, but, you know, realistically, I think our best option is to try and get into that 3rd place, consolidate it, and stick with it. We are 6 points clear of York in 5th. So it is really a 2-team race for that 3rd place. And I'm just thinking, as time ticks away, points dropped, it's not been a big help to us. York City, as I said, are in 5th. Halifax Town are 6th on 62. Then come 3 teams on 61. Southend, our second opponents of the episode. Barnet and Old Shot Town. Southend, of course, just there on goal difference at the moment. And then Bromley are 10th on 60 points. In a rich vein of form at the moment as well. I think they are the informed side. 4 of their last 5 games they've won. Pulled themselves up out of the table. As it stands at the moment, Woking, Borehamwood, Kings Lynn Town and Dorking are in the drop zone. Scunthorpe just outside. They've had 3 wins in their last 5, only lost once. So they're on a good bit of form as well. And Woking not doing too badly as it stands. So we're not the form team against Solihull Moors, and it's going to be a really tough match, especially away from home. Not good, and we are without Linton. He's had to take a rest because he is tired. We have no players injured. Alfie Prescott has come back from injury, so we have a full complement apart from Linton to choose from. Don't think there's a great deal else to tell you, really, other than our first opponents today, Solihull Moors. They have 2 players missing. Josh Kelly out with a twisted ankle. Sam Parker has damaged cruciate ligaments. We drew 1-1 with them at the Bob Lucas earlier in the season. Elliot Bolton, after 81, replying to Danny Butterworth's lead for Solihull Moors after 71. I think it's going to be another tight match, and maybe just 1 goal could win it. And let's hope it's a goal for us, because that's what we need to do, is pick up points, even on the road. And here is the team that will face Solihull Moors in this Vanarama National League Match Day 38. Armstrong in goal, Vincent, Ransom, Healy and Davis. Our defensive line, Knight, Stanton and Morris in midfield. Casey sits behind Peters and Evans up front. We've relegated Cooper, not having a good time at all. So he's out of the match day squad today. But on the bench we have Spurway, Prescott, Petit, Weiss and Melvin Lambert. And here we are at Damson Park against Solihull Moors. As I said, they've won 3 of their last 5 games, drawn the other 2, playing a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder today. We've won 3 of our last 5, lost the other 2. And we are in 3rd on 71. Weymouth, they are in 3rd on 71. We are 4th on 70. And an extremely cagey first half, to the point where there was no highlights, basically. 2 shots for Solihull Moors. We've had 1 shot, nothing on target for either team. They've had 0.03 on the XG. We've had 0.18 and 50% of the possession each. Just the only happenings of the game really in that first half was a yellow card for Stanton and a yellow card for Ellis for Solihull Moors. Let's hope for some highlights in the second. And with nearly 70 minutes on the clock, making our first change. Sonny Davis just not doing anything down that right wing. Alfie Prescott, can we get him to do Alfie Prescott things? Let's hope we can to try and get this a goal. As I said, it's going to be very tight. It's going to be 1 goal in it. Let's hope it's our way. And we do get a highlight after 73 minutes pretty much. But it's a highlight to Solihull Moors, which is more of a worry. And they come forward. I've given them too much room, but it's a shot and it's way off target. 77 on the clock now. And it's a goal kick. A long one. Ransom tidying up. Morris. Casey through to Peters. Peters, what's he going to do? He's put it away. 18th goal of the season. And Amika Peters finds a little bit of form at the right time. We've soaked up the pressure. They've had a chance or two. And we've got probably the first highlight that we've seen of ours today. And Peters, from distance, puts it away deftly. Question whether he was offside, obviously. No, he was onside. They have a free kick now. It's through. But Armstrong falls on that. Highlight is going to continue. We moved up into third over Solihull Moors. Armstrong launches that one. I need to do something with their... they've brought on a couple of substitutions. And we need to deal with that. Harry Cart. Oh, dear. 3rd goal of the season. And Mark Beck gets them level after 79. It's back as you were. Sorry, 80 minutes. It's back as you were. Brown over the top. Harriet getting there, crosses it in. And Beck. Question of whether he was offside. And I think he was, to be fair. Oh, he was. Definitely. Look at that. Look at that. Way offside. Tight is nothing tight about it. That shouldn't stand. And with 81 minutes on the clock, making our final 2 changes. We've taken off Willie Healy, brought on Spencer Spurway, and Kieran Evans has come off, and Melvin Lambert comes on to replace him. Armstrong with a goal kick. Spurway. Back to Spurway. From Morris. Spurway to Morris. Morris to Spurway. Ransom. Don't do anything silly here. Vincent out on this left side. Not seeing a great deal of him. He's got Ransom there. 5 minutes of added time. We're in the 3rd minute of those 5. Goes out wide to Prescott. Prescott needs to do Prescott things. And he does it. It's a good save. I'm not sure who that was. Going to be a short corner. Vincent. I presume that's Casey out there. Vincent to Casey. Casey finds Peters. Peters is brought down. A question whether it was a penalty or not. The highlights disappeared. So we'll find out in a minute. Prescott in. It was Melvin Lambert. And it was a good save by the goalkeeper. No penalty. And it's a 1-1 draw. More points dropped. Oh, dearie me. Dearie me. Saved by their goalkeeper, Latula. And Callum Harriet getting that assist, which gave them the thing. And we, once again, I must remember to go and check to see if they brought on Mark Beck. We hadn't done all the things that we need to do to make sure he's marked and all the rest of it. And they come and bite us in the bottom. 1-1 it is then. 8 shots, 2 on target for Solihull Moors. 1.34, 47% of the possession. We have 5 shots, 2 on target. 0.95 and 53% of the possession. We were better in the second half, but that should never have been a goal. It was offside. That Mark Beck one was definitely offside. It should never have stood. And we should have won that. Well, a mixed bunch. I'm not quite sure where it's left us. It's left us absolutely blown away with 8 games to play, 24 points available, 95 points is the most that we can get. I think Chesterfield have run away with this as it currently stands. But we can still catch Bradford City, because Bradford City only managed to draw as well today against Dagenham Redbridge. Dagenham Redbridge having a good old time at the moment. So they're a 2-2 draw. They were in the lead in that one, but pegged back on both occasions that they took the lead. So that's not so good. York City, they beat Altrincham by 4-0, something we couldn't do. But we did put 4 past them, but conceded 2 as well. And that's our big problem, possibly. So they close the gap to 4 points behind us now. Yeah, I think we're okay. We're 10 points clear of Southend, who are just outside the playoffs. They must have lost today, I'm guessing. Or did they not play? They've not played, because they've got 37 on there. So they've not played today. They have a game in hand then, so they could be back up into there. Right, so as it stands, Chesterfield beating Woking 2-1. So Chesterfield top on 86. Bradford City are second on 78. Then comes Solihull Moors on 72. We are 4th on 71. Then come York City on 67. Halifax Town on 65. And Aldershot Town on 64, just outside. 3 teams, 61 points. Southend, Eastleigh and Barnet. And then in the drop zone, Woking, Bournemouth, Kings Lynn Town and Dorking. Scunthorpe just managing to stay out of those that drop zone on goal difference. There's a 5-point gap then to Chester, who are in 19th as it stands. Right. As it stands at the minute, as it would be, we would play Aldershot Town in the first round of playoffs. Then York would play Halifax. And then it would be a case of we will be away to either Bradford City or Solihull Moors. Like I said, home advantage could make all the difference. We really want to try and get into that 3rd place, but we've blown our chance against Solihull Moors. We need to get a win against Southend and hope that Solihull Moors come unstuck in their next game. Who are they playing in their next game? Southend have a game tomorrow, Wednesday, and then on Saturday we play Southend. Solihull Moors are away to York City. Right, interesting. So that's how it is. We are going to come back. We've got 4 days down to the Southend game. Southend currently in 8th. We'll come back just ahead of that game. So no news items to bring to you in between. We are down to match day against Southend. Southend currently 10th in the table. They have lost their recent match, though. We will pick that up. We quickly go back. That's today's. They have played in midweek, played the day after us. They lost 3-2 to Scunthorpe. So Scunthorpe, who stand on that trapdoor, have a 3-point gap there again at the moment. But it does mean that Southend have dropped to 10th from 8th on 61 points. So they will be looking to try and get back up into there. But their chance of a playoff place is slowly diminishing. So they'll be out to try and get a result today, which is not good news in some respects. But there we go. They are without Jack Morehouse, who's doubtful with a stub toe. We have a full complement apart from Josiah Linton, who's still away, having a bit of a break, having a rest. We played them twice in the National League South last season, beat them 4-2 at the Bob Lucas, 5-3 at Roots Hall. This season we beat them 2-1 at Roots Hall. Goals from Elliot Bolton and Lambert. Elliot Bolton on 22. They equalised after 31. Cargbo is their threat. And Melvin Lambert after 86 minutes giving us the win. I think we established that Cargbo was somewhere else prior to that. But anyway, Morehouse also seems a bit of a thorn in. So he scored in that game. Didn't score last time out, but he can be a bit of a thorn in our side as well. So we need to keep an eye out for him. So played them 3 times, beat them 3 times. Let's hope we can make that 4 out of 4 today. And here is the team that faces Southend in this Vanarama National League match day 39. And, it does mean that there are 7 games left after this one. Armstrong in goal then. It's Vincent, Blythe, Spurway and Prescott our defensive line. Bolton, Solanke and Morris across midfield. Evans is behind Cooper and Melvin Lambert up front today. And then the bench looks like this. Harvey Slade, Sonny Davis, Joe Knight, Dan Casey and Mika Peters. And here we are back at the Bob Lucas. 2 wins, 2 losses and a draw in our last 5. A draw against Solihull Moors. They've won 3, lost 2 of their last 5. Playing a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder Tavares up front. We're 4th on 71 points. They are 10th on 61 points. Free kick, 6 minutes in. It's headed away, but Cooper is on it. Cooper forward finds Evans. Evans having a lovely run there. Evans into the area. Evans! Ooh, good save by the goalkeeper. It's gone out. It's gone for a corner. It's going to be a short one. Evans to Solanke. Solanke crosses it deep. Spurway heads it back, but nobody there. Vincent, they have a corner. It's going to be an outswinger. Moxon with this outswinger. Solihull Moors taking the lead against York City. It's come back off the woodwork. I think it's cleared. Tavares chases it. It's still alive. And we have a free kick. Vincent Evans. Evans, it's taken a deflection. It's gone in. And we've equalised after 29 minutes. We haven't equalised at all because they haven't scored. Sorry, I just worried you there for a second. I worried myself for a second. Never mind anything else. Oh, it took a slight deflection off the defender. Tried to sort of like keep off it. Let the goalkeeper get to it. Ball brought down. Bolton. Bolton's good. He's got a close attendance there. And Morris, very lax. And... I think it was well saved by Armstrong. He stayed out there, knew he wasn't going to get to it. And they have a corner. Moxon with a corner caused us all sorts of problems on the other side a short while ago. We've moved up to 3rd as it currently stands. Not quite sure what Solihull Moors is doing. You see Armstrong kept himself big, just got a touch to it. We are going to see the corner. Moxon swings it in. It's headed over the top though. Thrown on that far side, Scott Morris. And this one over the top, but Blythe will get there. Cuts it out. Vincent, what are we going to do? Can we counter it? Vincent over the top looking for Cooper. Cooper brings it down nicely. Cooper. Come on, Cooper. Let's do something here. Vincent into the area. Chips it in. Melvin Lambert. He's a flicked header. 11th goal of the season. And on 44 minutes, take a 2-goal lead. Thank goodness for that. Well worked counter-attack. Soak up the pressure. Turn it on when we need to. And Melvin Lambert straight on his head. And half-time comes. I'll tell you what, they've given us a torrid time in that first half. They've not just given up. 8 shots, 3 on target. Bearing in mind, they've only 33% of the possession, 0.85. I think our midfield needs to be a bit stronger. We've had 8 shots, 4 on target, 1.11 and 67% of the possession. We need to contain them in the second half. 50 minutes on the clock. They have a free kick. They've made one change at half time. Dickinson on. Tavares is in. Tavares gets a goal back. And clean sheet. What is a clean sheet? Have we ever seen one? I think we have, but oh dear. Route 1 headed down. Wilkes over the top. Tavares chests it down. And we're in all sorts of problems. We have a free kick now. 57. That was a poor ball. Ooh, Bolton. It was one back after a poor free kick from Evans. Evans into the area, but it's given away. But we've won it back. Evans cross it in. Melvin Lambert gets his second of the game. 12th of the season. 3-1 lead. 2-goal cushion again. And Melvin Lambert is sniffing a hat-trick. Well played. Determination to win that back. That was a poor ball again by Evans. Second time in a row. But managed to get hold of it and then put it up for Melvin Lambert. Free kick now for Southend. They've made a change. Cross coming in. Ooh, off the woodwork. Morris heads it away. Is it going to go out? It's gone out for a throw. Bit of luck there. We'll check to see what changes they've done. They've taken off Wilkes. Cargbo is on. Should have known better, shouldn't I? And with 66 minutes on the clock, making one change. Cam Cooper, again, not having a fantastic... I started him and I was... shan't I? But Amika Peters comes on to replace him. They have a throw-in on that Fider, so... And round the players chipped in, looking for Tavares. It's headed out. It's kept alive. Lister. Osio. Crossed in, looking for Carbo. Blythe. Scott Malatis. But Solanke picks that ball up. And can we get them on the counter again? Peters this time on the ball. Has support from Vincent, who's had a good game today. Bolton. Solanke. Solanke to Morris. It was a bit short, but Morris picks it up. Morris out to Prescott. Prescott in for Peters. Well, it wasn't Peters. It was Kieran Evans. His 12th goal of the season. And on 68, it's 4-1. A 3-goal lead now. And I think we may have finished them off. At last, Solanke, Morris. And keep our 100% record against Southend in this series. Straight on a plate for Evans. And with 77 minutes on the clock, making our second change, Bryn Morris is off. Joe Knight comes on. Free kick now. Evans with a free kick. He's almost had a perfect, and if he'd scored a free kick there. And with 87 minutes on the clock, our final change, we've taken off Spencer Spurway and brought on Harvey Slade. No more highlights in this one. We finished them off in the end. 2 goals from Kieran Evans, 2 goals from Melvin Lambert, and a good account for Luke Armstrong as well. A perfect 10 for Kieran Evans. He had 5 key passes, 3 clear-cut chances created, 2 goals and an assist. It was a perfect day for Kieran Evans. Not so bad days for Melvin Lambert either. 2 goals for him. And Liam Vincent having a good day at the office as well. 4 key passes, 2 clear-cut chances created, and 2 assists. Good day for him. So that's how we've ended up. 4-1 win against Southend. Let's go and have a look and see how that sits in the table. Before we do that, of course, we've got another thing to do. 17 shots, 8 on target, 2.56, 66% of the possession. They had 16 shots, 9 on target, 1.51 and 34% of the possession. As I said, Luke Armstrong keeping them out. Well, the results probably haven't gone our way today at all. Bradford City beating Oldham by 2-1 to keep up their second place. Solihull Moors beating York City 2-1. York not doing us any favours. at least we won. It could have been worse. We could have lost, and then that gap would have opened up between us and Solihull Moors. We are still only a point behind them, a 4-1 win, and increasing our goal difference as well to boot, which is always a handy thing to do, of course. Scunthorpe doing extremely well. They're fighting for their lives down the bottom of the table there. 4-4 draw against Chester. The one other score that stands out is Chesterfield only managed to draw against Oldham Athletic, a 1-1 draw, and they salvaged the points there because they were a goal down after 59 minutes. But they have guaranteed themselves at least a playoff place. I think they're going to get promoted, to be fair. They've only lost 4 all season. So as it stands at the end of the episode, Chesterfield top on 87. Bradford City are second on 81 points with the game in hand, hasten to add. Solihull Moors are third on 75. We are fourth on 74, then a 7-point gap down to York City, who are fifth on 67. Aldershot Town, sixth on 65. Halifax Town, 7th on 65. Then Eastleigh are just outside the playoffs on 64. Then come Barnet and Southend, or Barnet on 61. Southend, who we beat today, on 61. They now have a 4-point gap and have slowly slipped their way down by losing a couple of games in a row. Woking, Boreham Wood and King's Lynn Town and Dorking in that drop zone. Dorking, I think, must be pretty much gone. 7 games to go, 21 points available, 37 nearly. They are close to being relegated. Maybe by the time we get round to the next episode, they will be goners. We're going to play Chester offline. Chester currently 19th. We're going to come back for Barnet, who are 9th. Scunthorpe, who are 20th, and they're fighting for their lives. That's not going to be a foregone conclusion either. We need to basically go on a bit of a run now. If we can have with 3 games unbeaten, we need to go on this bit of a run and not lose. Going in, we got Scunthorpe, then we got King's Lynn Town, who are 23rd, York, who are 5th. That's going to be a toughie. And then second place Bradford, our penultimate game, and we finish up with Dorking, who will be relegated almost certainly by the time we get there. But we don't want to rely on that. At least it's at home. But that one it could all come down to that last game of the season. So as it stands at the minute, Barnet and Scunthorpe, and then will depend on how things go. It'll either be York and Bradford, or Bradford and Dorking. I'm not sure which way round we're going to do it yet. It might feature all 3 games. Very quick episode. We'll have to keep it very, very tight and see how things go. Join me for the next one, Barnet and Scunthorpe, in the next episode. It could make all the difference as to how our season ends up. Well, hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. That keeps you up to date with all future episodes of From the Bottom to the Top and our other series, Irons in the Fire, as they are released. New episodes of Bottom to the Top released every Tuesday and Friday, 4:15 p.m. And the best way of keeping up to date with what's happening on this channel is to follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at JustOffside2. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you for the next episode. It's going to be episode 39. It's out on Friday. Join me for that one. Until then, goodbye.